In the quiet town of Prescott Valley, Arizona, a 10-year-old girl ran out of a McDonald's bathroom sobbing, her face pale, her hands shaking. She didn't say a word. Just handed her mom a phone, and what was on that screen would make any parent's blood run cold. It was a photo. Under the sink, barely visible, was a phone, wedged behind a pipe, its camera lens facing outward. Hidden. Recording. At that very moment, a man in a delivery uniform casually walked out of the women's restroom, and disappeared into the parking lot. No one stopped him. No one even noticed. But her mother did. A single mom, a nurse, used to emergencies, and this, she knew, wasn't just a mistake. It was something darker. Something intentional. And the most shocking part? What they found when they reviewed the security footage. You won't believe how deep this goes. Hit like, subscribe and let's go. It was a Sunday like any other. Emily Carter, 36, had just finished her morning shift at the local clinic. A single mom and full-time nurse, she knew how to juggle pressure, patience, paperwork, parenting. Her daughter, Lily, was waiting outside in the car, reading her favorite graphic novel, legs curled up on the seat like always. Sundays were their ritual, lunch at McDonald's, then the park. Prescott Valley wasn't big, but it was home. Familiar. Safe. The kind of place where neighbors waved, and kids rode bikes until sunset. Inside the McDonald's, the air smelled of fries and vanilla shakes, buzzing with the chatter of families. Lily asked to use the restroom before they ordered, nothing unusual. Emily nodded, scrolled through her phone, sipping Diet Coke. Just another Sunday. Just another meal. But then, the minutes ticked. 1, 2, 3. And something in her gut, that quiet, mother's instinct, whispered that something felt off. Lily burst out of the restroom faster than Emily had ever seen her move, face flushed, breath short, eyes glossy with tears. She clutched her phone tightly, didn't speak, just reached out and placed it in her mother's hands. Emily's smile faded as she looked at the screen. A photo. Blurry, shaky, but clear enough. Tucked beneath the bathroom sink, behind the curved pipes, was a phone, black, screen dark, wedged tightly into place, its camera pointed outward. Emily's heart pounded. Who put it there? Why? She looked around, no one seemed concerned. No one else noticed. Lily trembled silently beside her. Emily stood up, scanning the restaurant. A man in a delivery jacket had just walked out of the women's restroom minutes before Lily returned. But he was gone now, vanished. No name tag. No bag. Just in, and out. Something wasn't right. And deep down, Emily knew, this was only the beginning. Emily tried to stay calm, but her mind raced. She walked Lily to the car, locked the doors, and sat behind the wheel, gripping her phone, staring at the photo again. Her hands were cold. That device under the sink, it hadn't just fallen there. It was wedged with intention. Hidden. She zoomed in, noticing something she hadn't before, the phone's screen was faintly glowing. Active. Recording? She wasn't sure. Her eyes shifted back toward the building. The delivery man, he hadn't carried anything. No order. No bag. And his jacket looked odd, too clean, too loose, like it didn't quite fit him. Emily glanced toward the entrance, but everything looked normal, families chatting, kids with happy meals. No one seemed to see what she saw. And yet, that whisper in her gut turned into a pulse of dread. She should just drive away. Go home. But something inside told her, not yet. Emily turned the engine off. She couldn't drive away, not without answers. Leaving Lily in the locked car, she marched back inside, straight to the counter. Her voice was steady but firm as she asked for the manager. A young man in his 20s appeared, friendly, distracted, until she showed him the photo. His smile dropped. Emily asked if they had security cameras near the restrooms. He hesitated, then nodded. Together, they stepped into a small back office where grainy footage played on an old monitor. Emily watched the screen, tense, breath shallow, and then she saw him. A man in a delivery jacket entering the women's restroom. Alone. No food. No urgency. He stayed inside for nearly 3 minutes, and came out calm, head down, walking straight out the side exit. Emily froze. The jacket, it wasn't from any known delivery service. No logo. No name. And worst of all, he was wearing gloves. In Arizona. In May. Her stomach dropped. This wasn't random. This was planned. The manager replayed the footage, pausing on a blurry frame of the man's face, barely visible beneath a cap and sunglasses. But something else caught Emily's eye. On the screen, just behind him, a glimpse of his phone. It was identical to the one in her daughter's photo. Same case. Same camera lens. Her breath caught. This man had planted it. Deliberately. Her hands trembled, rage simmering beneath the fear. But what chilled her more was what the manager said next, quietly, almost afraid to admit it. We've had 2 other parents complain this month, but corporate told us not to make a scene. Emily's heart pounded in her chest. This wasn't a one-time incident. It was a pattern, and they'd done nothing. Somewhere out there, a predator was watching children. Filming them. And no one stopped him. No one warned her. For the first time, she looked at that photo not just as a mother, but as a witness. And maybe the only one willing to speak up. Emily stood in the McDonald's parking lot, her pulse racing as she dialed 911. Her voice was clear, but her mind was spiraling. This wasn't just about Lily anymore. It was about every child who'd walked into that restroom while no one was watching. As she spoke to the dispatcher, a black SUV pulled slowly into the lot. Windows tinted, no plates. It parked across from her car. The engine stayed on. Emily's instincts screamed. She stepped in front of Lily's door, shielding her with her body. The SUV didn't move. Just waited. Her phone buzzed, unknown number. She didn't answer. The SUV backed out, and disappeared. Coincidence? Or a warning? When the police arrived, she gave them everything, the photo, the video, the details. But the officer's response chilled her. "We'll open a case, ma'am, but unless the phone's still there, or we find him, there's not much we can do." Emily realized the truth. If she wanted justice, she'd have to fight for it herself. 2 days passed. No arrests. No updates. Emily called the precinct, voicemails. Emailed McDonald's corporate, silence. News outlets ignored her. Even the manager who'd helped her, stopped answering. It felt like the world wanted this buried. She barely slept, afraid to let Lily out of her sight. At school, her daughter flinched at closed doors. In the mirror, Emily saw a woman unraveling, but beneath that, something harder was forming. On the 3rd night, unable to take it anymore, she drove back to the McDonald's alone. It was after closing. Empty. Lights low. She slipped around the side, flashlight in hand, and stepped into the women's restroom. Her breath echoed off the tiles. She dropped to her knees, and reached under the sink. Nothing. Then, taped behind the waste bin, another phone. New. Still recording. She stared at the blinking red light, and for the first time, she didn't feel fear. She felt fury. Now, she had proof. Emily didn't wait. She drove straight to the local news station, phone still warm in her pocket, red light still blinking. This time, someone listened. A reporter, young, skeptical, agreed to meet her in the lobby. But when he saw the footage on the phone, his face changed. Within hours, the story hit the evening news: hidden camera found in Arizona McDonald's restroom, mother speaks out. The footage spread like wildfire. Social media exploded. Other parents came forward, same town, same signs, same silence. Under pressure, the police reopened the investigation. McDonald's issued a statement, then an apology. And that SUV? It was traced back to a rental under a false name, but tied to a delivery account registered in another state. Using security footage, facial recognition, and tip-offs from viewers, they found him. Arrested at a rest stop. Emily watched the coverage from her couch, Lily curled up beside her. For the first time in days, they both slept through the night. She had done what no one else dared, and it changed everything. Life didn't go back to normal, not really. Lily still hesitated near public restrooms. Emily still checked every door twice. But something inside her had shifted. She wasn't just a nurse, or a mother, she had become a voice for families who'd been ignored. Policies changed. Cameras were installed outside restrooms in dozens of fast food chains across Arizona. Anonymous tips continued to surface. One act of courage had sparked a ripple. But Emily never forgot how close it had come to being buried, quietly, like so many others. And now she asks you, if your child handed you that phone, would you know what to do? Would you speak up, even when everyone else stayed quiet? These things don't just happen in the news, they happen in places we trust, to people we love. Stay aware. Stay loud. Stay brave. Hit like, share this video, and tell us in the comments, what would you have done?